Hi everyone, I've snuck into one of my best friend's offices. She normally on a Friday afternoon does her own video recording, but I'm taking over her office today to just introduce you to Helen Nicholson, one of the smartest people I know. I'm not just saying that because I'm here now, also one of the most hardworking. And Helen is the founder of the networking company. But specifically I wanted to chat about the work you do on empowering women leaders and the programs that you put together on those. Why did you feel that you needed to focus in on women? I think everybody should go through your programs, and I know anybody can, but what led you to feel that there was something missing in women leadership empowerment?
So about 18 years ago, one of the big banks did a piece of research on the difference between how women and men network. So they looked at men and women at quite a senior level, and they saw that they all got there. They may have the same education, same background, same experience, but for some reason the men were overtaking the women. And they did this research and they found out that the fundamental difference was the difference in the size of their business networks. So men had much bigger, kind of more acquaintance, transactional networks, whereas they had much smaller, intimate networks, and the women were completely the opposite. So they had bigger, intimate networks, and women do. They've got very good black book networks in their personal lives. Where's the best gynecologist? Where's the best school for their children? You know, that
I don't have any gynecologist recommendations, so yes.
I would imagine your wife would probably have that.
Sure.
And men often, you know, they cannot see each other for years and years and years. And you can be great with someone, 40 years later, you realize you need them. You'll pick up the phone and phone them and say, hey, remember me from grade one, you remember each other, you help each other. Whereas women don't transact like that. I feel that if I haven't seen another woman for 4 months, I'd be hesitant to pick up the phone. And that piece of research was a real epiphany for me because it awakened my eyes to the power of networks. And then I thought, that potentially is part of my life's mission, is to pass the skill on. And that's where the networking company was born, because I thought that it is a taught skill, and it is able to be learned.
And really, you teach it brilliantly, by the way. But it's not just networking, so that's the base.
Yes.
Now on top of that, you've built an entire program, but it's more than just a program. There's so many each client that comes to you can customize bits and pieces. What are the sorts of things you feel especially women need to know in order to be successful leaders?
Well, I think, you know, we took McKinsey's piece of work that they do every couple of years called What Makes Talented Women Thrive, because we wanted to internationally benchmark our work because it is done internationally and not just in South Africa. And we took that and we overlaid that with the trends that we're seeing. And I think because we're very agile, we are able to turn at a dime and we're able to customize. For example, one of the issues that's coming up in 2025 is this huge increase in imposter syndrome and growth mindset and change agility. So then we're able to adjust and customize to meet clients where they are and to see what delegates are needing. But really the curriculum is based on kind of 3 components. One is managing self, the other one is managing others, and the other one is kind of becoming more strategic, both around your life and your career. So there are things like personal mastery, strengths finder, because often I find that, and especially now, is people are more in touch with their weaknesses than they are with their strengths. So we believe to have a powerful personal brand, which leads to a great network, you need to lean into your strengths more. And people are often more in touch with their weaknesses. So that, you know, the personal mastery, the strengths finder, the Enneagram sometimes, the be heard, the personal mastery element of things, you know, that all is that bundle. Then your relationship with others is your network. How do you navigate corporate politics? You know, that's a big one.
On that one, do you think men, I don't want to say it's inherent because it's not genetic or anything, but is there something in the way that males go through the world that just gives them a slight advantage in terms of that? How do you arrive in the room? How do you handle relationships, managing corporate politics? Maybe it's the guys who make the politics.
No, indeed. I mean, I think women often go into the workplace thinking, Niven Posma, who does our corporate politics module, she always says a lot of women treat the workplace like school. Right. And so the same set of skills that they use to build a career and get 7 A's in matric. And also, I also think women often peak too early in their lives. You know, I see a lot of 17, 18-year-olds, especially the girls who got the 7 or 8 A's in matric. Sometimes they're nowhere in their career in 35, by the time they're 35, because their light shone too early and they're almost burnt out by the time they're 21. So I think that, you know, to realize that corporate requires a very different skill set to what school did, and to realize that you actually need to manage your stakeholders. Often I find women are more retiring around that. Men are more forthright. You know, they realize that this is actually, in some ways, it's a game.
Yeah,
and
we
you
realize
play
the game is
game.
being played, and
Indeed.
we work out how to play it,
Indeed.
and then go for it. And women, again, learn skills, right?
Yes.
You can learn these things, you can develop, you can get better at them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we go into the last piece of the managing, which is your piece, which is the strategic intelligence. How do you become more strategic in your worldview? And then we also have the career management piece on, you know, if you're becoming more strategic around your business or your business unit, but also around your career. Do you have this board of directors, your coaches, your mentors, your sponsors, people who represent your weaknesses in your network? Do you have them, and do you access them? Do you, because they ultimately will impact your influence and your power. So a lot of this, our work is about getting and helping women to step into their power and to access their power and to leverage it.
So tell me one or two of your favorite success stories. I know we could now go for hours because there's so many. And genuinely check this course out, because I'm involved in lots of different programs in lots of different ways. And honestly, this, I'm not just saying this, this one has the most success stories of any program I've ever been in. What are two of your favorites?
So we track our delegates after they've been on a program. So we've had, we run about 4,600 programs over the last 18 years, and we find that within 18 months of attending a program, 40% of them are promoted to another band. So not just within the same band, but a next level of their career. But you know, that's the more boring number stat. I bumped into one of our delegates the other day who said to me, "You probably don't recognize me," and I didn't. But she said, since I attended that course, I've lost 20 kilograms, I ran a 21K race, I've gotten divorced, and have been promoted twice. And you know, those are
the boss is happy.
quite and those are the stories that, because in other words, we throw pebbles in ponds and we give people tools, but you know and I know that you can lead the horse to water, you can do naked flick flacks, and you can give everyone all the tools that they want. But often I think we are catalysts for people becoming more confident, taking ownership of their career. And then we've got, you know, other very direct success stories. The first female CEO of Deutsche Bank is one of our alumni, apparently female alumnus are called alumni.
That's probably right.
We've had Namonde White and Glover, who's the CIO of Bidvest Bank. So we have had many, title promotions. But the 21K, the getting divorced, the losing 20 kilograms is still one of my favorites, because it showed how multifaceted people,
life changing, not just career changing.
Indeed.
Yeah. So what's the easiest way for people to find out more about this?
So they can check out our website, TNCo, thenetworkingcompany.co.za, or contact me, helen@tnco.co.za.
Or connect with me wherever you're watching this video. Just drop me a DM and I'll put you in touch with Helen and the team. Honestly, my most fun, actually. You've built an amazing, the language you use is tribe, right? So an amazing group of people who get this done. But honestly, if you know that getting the best out of the people in your business, but especially the women, if you feel that you would love the women in your business, in your organization, to, not their fault, but to step up a little bit, well, then help them to do that. And Helen's and her team will help you to help them to do that.